The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman here. This is the Tiger Technicians Hour. Of course, I've got my daily newsletter called The Opening Call. What are we looking at? We're looking at the Dow opening up quite weak. Triple M had poor earnings, poor outlook, etc. There were a couple of stocks, but look at this. We're up 102 at 31,601. In fact, we hit 31,700s. What exactly did we hit? We hit 31,000. Let me just move this over right here. There. We hit 31,705. Nice action. So what are we looking at? We're looking at a situation where there's been an H pattern in a number of the markets, a number of the indices. What is the H pattern? I'm always looking at three core directional moves: straight up, straight down, cup formation, arch formation. You can have a mix of 1 and 2 and 1 and 3. 1 and 3 is where you make it looks like an H pattern. It fails at the first or second peak, peak A or peak B. In the Chapman wave methodology, you can go from a low, identifiable low, all the way to a G, but it's at that fourth highest peak that other things can happen. But in this kind of bounce that fails, it's invariably an A or a B, and then it pulls back sharply. What happens on that left side low is very important. So look what happened. 28,715 would come down sharply, make that H pattern, and then September I wrote it in everything else but here. That was the September the 26th or so low, big pop up, comes back down, and on the 13th of October, you come down to 28,660, and there's the H pattern, the successful H pattern, because yes, it went under, but it immediately closed above. That was that Thursday, that crazy 8:30 in the morning that stopped out of our long position. We had to jump in later on. But what happened was fabulous turnaround, and the technicals were already improving. That's the reason why I like the diamonds so much, and why I like the long position of the Dow. And then all of a sudden, you get the MACD expanding. The 9 period then crosses over the 14 period moving average to go green instead of pink. Stochastic goes finally over 80%. Yeah, we're at 91%. Great action, very strong. Peak A, peak B, leg C. We're waiting for a peak C. We thought maybe we're going to get it today, but no, we're not. Very nice action. 32,270. 32,000. Well, we were down at 28,000. So 32,270 will be the area that, if we can do it within the next 3 to 5 sessions, that'll be fantastic. But at the same time, we've got to look at the weekly charts are really working very hard to improve. Look at the S&P. S&P has come back very nicely from that much lower low, 35.84 down to 34.91 on the 13th of October. Did a beautiful cup pattern attempting an H or an M pattern, second arch, where we've gone nicely above the left side arch right there in that H pattern, and that was at 38.06. Well, we're now traveling to 38.30. So if we can close nicely above that left side arch, we're making the cup formation where the H pattern morphs into a very positive cup formation. See, down on the left side, up on the right side. We've gone above the Chapman wave inside track repellent zone. I had written all this up. We discussed it last week. And now we're trying to move higher into, now I can move this because you can see that it's moving to the right. There's your Chapman wave inside wedge target resistance line. We're right at it as we speak. So that's a very good move, 33 points up, 38.31. And we're looking at the QQQ. Has it taken out the left side high? That's 284.18 so far. We're at 283.06. Very nice action, not great, but it is making the arch formation that turns into the cup formation. And you've got this in the weekly chart. Look at this double U pattern with a lower U making lower highs and lower lows. That's going to be a big thing in the first week of November. Are we able to get above 300? That's going to be really important. That's 18 points from here. That's a lot. IWM, the Russell 2000. 177.25. The previous high was just a tad higher, 177.29. It is really close to finally making that leg C. I'm watching this closely because that means you can get rid of this arch formation and say that now we're finally seeing the potential. I'll put this as a potential right here, as a potential cup formation, and that's going to be a big deal because the MACD's good, stochastic's still very weak at 66%. So let me just do this quickly because live is what I want to show you how the Chapman wave methodology works live. We made a peak E. Remember in the Chapman wave, I may as well just do this. Look, let's go there. It's boring for those of you who are already used to my work, but not for those of you who are not. So here we are. In the Chapman wave, we try to identify the lowest low bar. We've been saying that the TLT and the UNG should be making some kind of a trough to start a move to the upside, and that would be a good example. So what we like to look for is once the low is identified and there's a move up, if that low is taken out, it just negates it completely. You have to actually start a brand new move. But the idea is to get you to at least a buy signal that's upgraded to a buy mode. That's how the Dow is. That's how the S&P is. The Qs are not quite there yet. Neither is the IWM. And that says you should go to at least 4 higher peaks. Peak A is the first, peak B is the second, higher peak C is the third, and peak D. At peak D, and that's your objective and your target, other things can happen. Now you have to reassess and see in the Chapman wave what's working, what's not, where the technicals are, what the pattern looks like. It can go on to E, F, and G, and if it makes a higher high after D within 3 bars, that becomes a Chapman wave instant restart, just a unique proprietary technique that I publicized. But in fact, it is, I've never heard anybody else ever in all the years, the decades I've been getting, where is it? Right here, Stocks and Commodities magazine. I've just never ever read grading the peaks as I've done in the Chapman wave methodology for forever, and we'll see what happens. So we haven't even got to a peak C. We're in leg C in the Dow, and we'll see what happens. So in the meantime, those are the techniques we look at. We just saw a peak E in the 1-minute chart, a peak G in the 2-minute chart, in the 5-minute chart. This is the E-mini, and all of these are hand notated. We've gone to a leg F/B. Right there, I think it's going to be a B. I'm going to still put in the F alternate account B. Nothing technically wrong, but I like to put in the alternative so at least you know where you are. And let's see where we are. A very strong move up in the 10-minute chart. Let me just show you while I'm here. This is the 10-minute chart peak C. There should be a leg D to come because you've got a buy signal to buy mode upgrade. So you should still go to higher highs. Have a look at this. This is gold in a leg C, the same as the S&P. Leg C in the 10-minute chart. But look at the dollar. The dollar made these highs at a peak D right at the 200-period exponential moving average in the 10-minute chart, and it's now down 87 cents at 111.13. I'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the market's open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hi folks, Basil Chapman, back Dow's up 140, S&P's up 35. One of the reasons why we've been, so this is the pattern here, you've got the cup formation after that peak E. You've got a leg C. It's still a leg C. You have to wait for the whole bar in the 10-minute chart to complete before you can call it a peak. It hasn't made a peak yet because it's still active as leg C. And we will continue to monitor this. And you've got this potential F/B in the, what is this? This is a 2-minute chart. So let's just go back. Oh, I wanted to show you this. So I'd mentioned that the dollar, DXY, dollar had gone from a peak D right at, how important are these moving averages? Well, you can ignore them to whatever extent you want. But look at this, that 200-period moving average, it wasn't even in the picture. And since, there's a 10-minute chart, remember, since 7:45 on the 24th, which is yesterday. And so yesterday morning, it hit it and it got repelled. This morning, it tried to come back and went to a peak D, made this exact cup formation that we're talking about in the E-mini right now. Look, yes, I can't tell you how many of these cup formations. It's more like a bowl because it's not a deep cup formation, but it's like a bowl making a retest of the left side high at that 200-period moving average. But look at the technicals. Look at the way this high and this high were completely different. Look, the MACD is way lower. The stochastic briefly went above 80% and then immediately turned down. The 9-period moving average was starting to weaken. And look at that difference from 112, just over 112. We're now at 110.95. Look at this. This is the U.S. dollar. Sorry, this is the U.S. yields. This is the Treasury bonds. From that low, I couldn't get this right because it goes in these ticks. It goes in 120 and 30 seconds. It goes in these seconds, so 30 seconds. So here is in leg D. This is the 10-minute chart, and the 10-minute chart in the right here with the futures. And look, here we go back to the, there we go. Okay, now you can call. You see, you have to wait for that bar. So this is a peak C, And there's a chance that it's going to try to make a cup formation and retest it. Does it go one tick above to make that leg D? We'll see. But if it does that, then I have to give an alternate count because it's in the 2-minute chart, which is so strong. Let me just double check that it is a 2-minute chart, I hope. Yep, 5-minute chart. In the 5-minute chart, and it says if it goes slightly higher, then I'm going to call this a G/C. I'm still giving it the alternate count, but everything else is very strong. And you can see it's going sideways in the rectangle formation with a slightly lower highs and lower lows, and it turns around. Now it's making slightly higher highs and higher lows. We'll see if it actually retests that left side high of 38.48, I believe it was. All right, let's get back to our story here. And our story says, within the context of the different patterns, the IWM has gone to 177.49. And I think it's finally above the left side low. Yeah, 177.29. So now we can call this a leg C. So this is how it unfolds, just step by step. Don't get too carried away. You're looking at this. Now I can put in an up arrow because you've gone to a C. It's gone above. It hasn't closed above the left side high, but the technicals, the 9 has finally gone over the 14. That's a really good sign. So here we are. We're finally looking at some kind of rally in the general market, and that is a very good sign in the sense that it tells you that you're broadening out. But the SMHs were laggards, and now they're finally coming on. 190.23, finally you're in leg B. In the semiconductors, the weekly chart looks just horrible, but this is much, much better. What's the question there? Alan says, Basil, that stock you were going to look up. Oh, the stock that I was going to look up, I wrote it down. Oh, no, I did. I found it. Oh, and I wrote, where did I write it? Alan, I'm gonna find, but when I looked at it, the UNG is at 18, and this was not. This was about 28, if I remember correctly. I think the UNG is still the best way to do that. So, Alan, I will look it up, but if you're looking for something that is complementary, I would just say I would stick with the UNG if that's the way you want to go, because I do see this as a nice trough G in the UNG. This is the United States Natural Gas Fund in the daily chart, and it has gone below the left side low. So this is the first time in ages that we've got an aborted move to the upside at a peak B minus, and this just tells us that we could have a good rally, but all within the rectangle formation. Hey, a good rally going even from the 18 to the 32 area would be fantastic, let alone 35. So let's just see if the UNG can hold this gain. And so I found it, and then I said, oh yeah, that was for Alan, and then I wrote it down, and now I'm looking at my page. I just do not recognize the symbol. I might even have it here. I'm just not recognizing the symbol. Oh. And then I had a question that I didn't get to. Oh, I am sluggish today, aren't I? Russ. Oh, Rambus. A question about Rambus. I hope this is a question on Rambus. Yeah, this is a very strong move. I mentioned yesterday that Rambus was acting very well. Rambus is in the semiconductor area. This is a new leg C to the upside. This is one of the best looking semiconductor charts. It's kind of, it's in the semis. That's kind of the sector that it is. Rambus Inc. Trading at 29.61. It's up 68. Oh my goodness, during the break, I had a question yesterday and I even sent an email back. I'll find it. And what was the question? Oh, I missed it again. It was on the, let me just go to the FXI right now because it was on the, just a fantastic move, a 3-for-1 move on the, was it the China FXI? I'm not sure. I'll get it, but it was the 3 times short. And Ray had emailed me to say, early yesterday morning, what should I do? And you know what I normally do. When you get a move that you just never expected, and it's like a gift, I say, just take some off immediately, and then you can assess. So I did send him out what I wanted. In fact, I should find it. Let me see, sent items. There it is. I've got it. No, I don't have it. Oh, no. Did I just say sent? No, it's not there either. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it was on my other computer. I'll have to find it. All right, I'll find it. Don't worry. Ray, but either way, you know that I was telling you, you've got to take something off, and there was a split stop as well. I'll get the exact thing that we were looking at in a moment. But right now, FXI is having a move to the upside. It's up 42 cents, up 1.95. Not a great move. I don't think this is the end of the downturn for China, but I do think on a shorter term, you've just got to protect those fans. You got in at 14, and I think we were 20. It hit 28, and it was now in the 26s. I can't remember the symbol. Didn't I write it down? No, I didn't. I'll be right back. This will give me an opportunity to see if I can find it. But in the meantime, very nice move. Dow's come back from being negative to 170 to plus 181, and the S&P's up 37. Be right back. Basil Chapman, Tiger Solutions Hour. Let me find the question. Found it.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, folks, so this is what we're talking about. We're talking about this cup formation, which has been repeated over. I just couldn't tell you how many charts do this. And then they test and go slightly above the left side high. And I always like to do the measurement of that high to this particular, and here we got strength. So this is a very good move in the 1 minute E-mini because it's gone to a leg G/. I'm still calling it an alternate count, even though it's really a C. But I got to be ready here. You never know in this kind of market what's going to happen. So there it is, very strong in the 5-minute chart. And finally in the 10-minute chart, we got a higher high. And that says you finally got your leg D. That's what we were looking for in the Chapman wave methodology, a buy signal that goes to a buy mode. At least it can go higher, But this is where you get a little bit careful. So now let's go back to our story. And what was the stock? Yang. And I would have got it, even though I looked it up and I found it, because someone in the den said, dang, what did they say? Dang something. Anyway, I saw a dang, and that would have reminded me about the yang. Yin and the yang we've got. So the yang is down 2.25 at 33.70. So this is what I got, and I'm so sorry I didn't see it yesterday because you would have got out with an even bigger profit. I took a position, Basil. I took a position in yang on 829.22. 829. Wow, that's great. That's just a little after when we went short the market. So that's right, 829. Oh my goodness, what perfect timing. So the 26th is where it hit 12.71, and the 29th is where it had a little bit of a pop on the upside of there. So that was over the weekend, I guess. So you got it just after then. You got it in at 14.68. Oh my goodness, that was fantastic, just off the low. Given the move today, is it realistic to expect us to test the highs at 48? The ETF shorts the Chinese large caps, and given that the Chinese economy seems to be headed toward a recession, as with the rest of the world, should I take some profits here? I would appreciate your wisdom and guidance, Ray. So, Ray, I sent back last night. It was late last night when I was doing I just have my stuff out there, and I do it whenever I can. So throughout the evening, afternoon, evening, I'm busy working. But then I suddenly saw this, and I did not realize it. So I sent a note, and the note was, oh, Ray, for some reason I just missed your question this morning. I only saw it now. Wow, what a move. And that was, I guess, at late afternoon. No, early evening. Wow, what a move. Wish I had seen this immediately. That is when I would have said, take some off right here and place a stop where you are comfortable before another position, keeping the core just for now. Maybe you can still do that. I have a particular Chapman wave technique that might say we are close to the FXI having a pop-up. We'll go over that in the morning tomorrow, but please remind me. I didn't get a reminder. Congrats on a fabulous position. Maybe after hours you can take some off. And that was when I sent it out last night. So I don't know if you had a chance to take some off, but here it is. It made a high yesterday. He got it in the 14s, and it hit, just a little bit higher. It went to 38.02. So if you were able to get something off last night, I think it was in the 36s. Even now it opened 33.47. That's a fantastic move. Yes, you would have had made at least for some part of the position we got. Now let's look at the FXI, because looking at this, you see, let me first of all say the Yang, which is 3 times short the China Bear, is going to peak A, B, C, a peak D in the monthly chart from the low that was made back in early 2021, February, I think. And then in March of 2022, it goes to 48.44 from the low that was made at 9.34 in February of 2021. And then it screams up to that high, and it plummets down to the most recent low, and that was at 10.07. So it has a four bagger. It goes to the 38 level, and now it's pulling back. It's actually, it pulled back, but it's almost at the high of the day. But at the same time, the FXI has been under tremendous pressure. I don't really want to, for one of those instruments, the 3 times short, I don't want to use this A, B, I think that's a B. Let me just double check. 1671, 1673, yeah. So this is leg C in the weekly chart, but I don't want to say it always goes to a D when you're talking about 3 times short, because these things, they don't go exactly the same, so you can miss the peak by a fraction or not. I would go with the root, and the root is the FXI, and the FXI is suggesting very strongly that the breakdown of the rectangle formation, the H that went to a lowercase m in the weekly chart, took out the left side low of 25. No, it was 26.13. The week of the 18th of March, we went way under it. We've gone down to the 20 point. 94 area yesterday, trading a point high. It's not a big deal. It's a point higher. But this is saying that there should be some kind of a move to the upside, maybe not even filling the gap just yet, but that gap goes all the way to the 23s. And if you look at the TLT, look at this pattern. Doesn't it match exactly the TLT? Island reversal gap up today. So all these instruments are attempting, it doesn't mean to say they're going to succeed right immediately, but they're attempting to form the bear phase of the TLT, the bear, that's the iShares 20-year Treasury bond ETF, the FXI, the charts look the same. Doesn't matter, they're different instruments, they look the same. UNG looks the same. And it's having a little bit of an second island reversal to the upside, not quite. Yeah. And what we're looking at 19.14, it's up 57 cents. So if anyone is interested in the natural gas, I'd said yesterday it's time that maybe if you want to tiptoe in, that's a possibility. But even more important than that is that within the context, oops, I'm losing my sound here. Let me fix that up. There it is. Within the context of these very bearish instruments, some kind of a reflex rally is in the cards. And I want to see where we close today, because this buying pressure that I've just seen just looks a little bit artificial to me. Oh, it's real because the price is there. But I'm not seeing the kind of broadness and sustainability just yet. I might see it in an hour or so. We'll see. And let's just look at I haven't finished. I want you to look at gold. So gold has turned around. It's given back some. It's up 5. Very hard. But look at silver. This is very interesting. Silver has a little bit better chart. It's actually holding well. It's up 0.05 at 19.24. And look at this. High-grade copper. It's really struggling. And that's just saying to me, you know how I like to look at high-grade copper because it's international. Basically, it's an icon that we can look at for international economic activity. Well, look at wood. Haven't updated this for a little bit. It's a peak A, peak B, peak C, but it's gone. This is the iShares Global Timber and Forestry ETF, gone from just under 100 in the 90s down to the 60s, and now it's bouncing. It's at 70. So this is telling me that we aren't out of the woods. This is everything we're looking at here is more a reflex action to the upside, even the Dow, which we've been long and we've been adding to, and I like very much. When we get to peak D, I'm probably going to start lightening up in this particular move. I don't know the power yet. I'll get the sense of the power, and I'll explain how. When I look at the Dow, the MACD, the expansion of the MACD and the stochastic in 91 says, yep, there is. At this point, there is power there, and that's a good sign. I'll be back in a moment. Dow's now up 150, S&P's down up 33.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for Dave's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
So we have a question in the den about LGO. LGO is Largo Inc. Battery and Alternative Technologies. It had, in the monthly chart back in 2020, it made a low around about 4 and it screamed up to the 18s in the peak D, A, B, C, D, and then it came tumbling down. So this, you can't count that as a trough. You have to move to the right of the peak. Otherwise, it's not called a peak. So only from this side can you start calling these troughs. There's trough A, trough B, and then trough C. But most importantly, the question came up here. The daily chart, remember, I've changed slightly over the years, decades, that now I always say count each successively higher peak and every successively lower low. But within this context, look, the low that was made in LGO on the 27th of September at 512, that was the low. Therefore, every single peak above it must be counted. So that becomes peak A. The high that was made on the 6th of October at 625 is peak B because you made the next bar was lower. But that is an A. And even though it goes lower, it didn't take out that left side low. So what I call this is a gray A, because the rule, normally you say, oh, well, this is the low. Now I'm going to start a new ABC, and you get an overlapping wave here. No, that's A. This is B, gray B. Stochastics acting well. This is a gray C. And all of a sudden, now you've got leg D. Now, normally, you'd be looking at this and say peak A, peak B, peak C. But I've been talking about this for quite some time. I have found that it's much better to be more conservative than to choose the aggressive way. This is conservative. Here's your starting point. So as long as it's not taken out, every peak gets counted. A, B, A, pulls back. Even though it's below the A, it doesn't matter. It's above the starting point. That becomes a D. So the question is it a buy here? And I'm going to say monthly chart needs a huge amount of work. The weekly chart is improving. The MACD finally crossed positive. Stochastic is improving. The on-balance volume, it's moving in unison, but that 9 is still way under the 14. So I'm going to say if you aren't in it, and the questioner, I think, is in it, yes, no. Vanadium producers supplying, working on scaled environmental energy storage programs. Yes. So doesn't A2 get negated once its low is taken out? No, because this is your starting point. Am I clear? I hope so. So this is, and all I'm being is conservative because there's nothing technically wrong. It just says you're a little aggressive now because you're in D in terms of the notation. Because once you get to D, you've got to lift your foot off the accelerator, hover over the brake for a moment, but you don't have to go short and you don't have to get out. So this is very good action at 79.71. It should get to 80% in the stochastic. So this is good. I would start at 628 because it's such a low price stock. I would say if you aren't in it, you can start right here at 628, make it a split position. One at 68, you're going to have a wider stop, but I do like the action because it's taken out so far the left side high of that peak B. And I'm going to say split position, and in the doji candle right here at 605, somewhere between 608 and 601, I would add the second position. I would prefer that you didn't get the second position, that it just kept going from here, and then we will decide whether you can add higher. But if it's starting to move and it wants to go to the sevens, that's fine. You can add even a little later, as long as it's going, the trajectory is higher. So I hope that helps you. Next question was, where did it go? Peaky. I can't peaks indifferently from the inventor of the system. That's okay, as long as it works for you. I do this in acting the weekly. I'm in pretty short puts. Oh, that's very good. Okay, so you are in it already. So anyone listening, that's another way to do it. I just missed. I had a question here. Do they trade low-grade copper? Where was it? It was a question for me, I thought. Oh, there we are. Yeah, so, okay, those are the questions that I've got. And I'm just going to go to Tiger TV. I want to see, there was a question I thought I saw earlier on in Tiger YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, so I needed to do some things here. LRC, so I mentioned am I going to even remember what it was? What was that? Rambus. Oh, let me put it down again. I've written it down 3 times, so I'm writing it down again. Rambus is acting very well, but LRCX, look, LRCX, which is Lam Research in the semiconductor, I think they had good earnings or something like that. I wanted to show you, first of all, you see this big green bar? That is not A. Remember, in the Chapman wave methodology, you're talking about peaks and troughs. This is not a trough. This is just a lower bar. So this is not A. I'll put a line through it right there. That's not A, because you have to wait for the right side to have a higher low. And there you got it. So this is A. It's in fact in A right now. I don't particularly like it that much, Lam Research. At this particular point, even though the earnings are good, I like the fact that they did make that announcement. It should help some of the others. I mean, just look at the decimation in the semiconductors. Advanced micro devices, a little bit of a move up to 26 at 6.91. This is a stock that was at 164. Here it is over 100 points lower. I mean, these are huge. Look at this. The weekly chart looks like it's like an embarrassment. These 3 candles that you're looking for, the week is young, but these are at least 2 candles from the previous 2 weeks. But they are saying that the selling has dried up. And that's the reason why I do like the fact that the semiconductor today is actually moving high. It's struggling, but it is moving high. That's a big deal. That together with the IAI, which is, it's not bad, up 38 cents. This is such a select rally, and it is filtering into other areas. But wow, I have to tell you, if you're not in the right thing, you're saying, what happened? Why is everybody moving without me? The train just took off and I'm still at the station. So let's just look at this. So there's your leg D in the 10-minute chart. This is your leg G/C, and I think it will make that leg D in the 5-minute chart. And whatever happens in the 1-minute chart, this is to the E-mini here. Look at this. So... oops, move this to the right. There we go. So we're stuck basically in this range. I love to draw the rectangle in to say, hey, you can stay in a rectangle formation a lot longer than your patience, and there it is. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, it is moving high and you can count the peaks, but I am saying that isn't it interesting that it's still, after such a spectacular move, since 10 o'clock, and here we are getting on to nearly 11 o'clock, basically been sideways. But I believe buying is coming in, especially, have a look at this. Look at the USD. Look at the USD JPY. there it is. You made a peak D. Yesterday, I did give it an alternate count, but I said I'm almost sure this is a peak D. It's a leg E in the weekly chart. This is the dollar-yen currency pair. So this is the yen starting to pull back. Let's just have a look at that dollar again. Yep, sharp move down. EUR, USD. We'll look at the euro when we get back.
Are you grinding in the market, but seeing little to no return? Or are you a successful trader, simply looking to make your job a little easier? Learn to take the path of least resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month and try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, we're back and we're going to do this stock here, which is called, here we go, A, B, C. We're looking at Archmore Shipping Corporation at $11.99, leg D in the daily. Actually, it's a leg C. I could give it an alternate count. At this particular point, I'm calling it a leg C and a, only B in the monthly chart. So this is looking fantastic. So I thought the shippers were actually taking a bit of a rest. Not at all. Not this one. $11.99 up 63 cents, up 5.53. Whoo, big move up. And what we're looking at is ASC is the symbol. And I forgot to type in the name, Archmore Shipping Corporation. I don't know where they registered. You never know. They're registered somewhere. They belong to another country. It's just a real mix-up. And let's just see what NAT is doing. NAT, it's kind of stalled. Let's see what DSX is doing, Diana Shipping. Wow, this is the one that really, this is a beauty. ASC, yeah, this is acting very well. Now, the question is, a buy here. Oh, this is the one that was a buy here. Yes. I'm going to say that in your case, not for everyone, but in your case, I would start a small position here at 11.99 because everything is pointing to an upside thrust. So I know that you are prepared to take time and you're prepared to hold it, even if it does pull back. I can see even testing $11.20 or $11. It's a dollar. It's almost a 10% correction before it gets going again. But I think yes. So, folks, just as we're about to break, you need to go to Steve Rhodes, a great program. Don't forget, tomorrow is Wednesday. You have that's webinar at 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock? Yeah, 4 o'clock.